Today's show continues. We are live inside the Lot 100 studios. We are headquartered here in sunny Southern California. You're watching live right there. The Day Trader Trio, best in the business, so lesson self-taught. Literally picked up the instruments the day they were born and started playing. Back here at the bar, it is Costa, it's Mayor Britt Godwin, and Sully.
I'm so excited to have Martin Brenner back in studio. We had him in our clutches, and then he started running his business and actually doing what he's supposed to do, which is good. I don't know if we brought this up last time. First of all, Martin Brenner is the, I'll let you introduce him, Mike.
CEO, Chief Scientific Officer, iBio Incorporated. Strangely enough, their ticker symbol, iBio.
iBio, interesting. I had forgotten because I kind of keep my finger on the pulse of these things. You guys, you were with Pafenex, weren't you? With
Phoenix before, yeah.
And it wasn't like a $500 million acquisition. I mean, we're talking like $516 million. That had to be an exciting thing, and that gives you credibility in terms of taking something from inception to fruition. Are you starting to see some familiar markers in the new company?
We're seeing some familiar things happening right now, so we're being recognized a little bit more. We just became a clinical stage company, but yeah, the Phoenix acquisition was particularly hard because it was end of the pandemic, so it was all basically done virtually.
Right.
You don't sell companies virtually usually.
Well, you sure did. Let's talk for the folks that didn't get a chance to see you last time. Give us an overview of iBio and what you guys are doing and the therapies and such.
So we're a publicly listed company. We're a very small biotech, 24 people right now. But the last 2 years, we have actually used a platform that uses artificial intelligence to create novel therapeutics, specifically for obesity and cardio-metabolic disease. That's my background. I've spent 15 years in big pharma in R&D departments actually researching this. And so it all came back after having a hiatus of about 8 years. Mm-hmm. And now we're back in that space, and we've used the last 2 years really well. We've now moved one program into clinical testing. So we just 2 weeks ago, treated the first human being with the first ever molecule that came from our platform. So this was a huge step for us.
So we're all familiar, and I'm going to lump everybody together, but with all of the weight loss drugs, GLP-1 would be an example. One of the issues is muscle loss.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the main, even for those folks that are sort of doing it right, walking, maybe doing some strength training, eating correctly, at the same time just suppressing their appetite. And you look at it, it's an obstructive sleep apnea drug, it is a blood pressure drug, it's a glucose drug, it's a lot of things. Yeah. But one of the things it does is, there's a thing called GLP-1 face, where people lose their mass, and then there's also a lot of skinny fat people there, meaning that they may have lost weight, but there's no muscle up. This is exactly what you guys are addressing, correct?
That's correct. So nobody actually dies of obesity, right? Because this is not really making people sick. What makes people sick is the specific fat tissue inside the body around our organs, and you lose that with GLP-1. Like you said, all of the benefits are there, but at the same time,
like fatty liver and all the
exactly.
NASH
around
and
the
all
heart,
a lot of it's effective. It's the aspirin of this category.
Yeah.
But it doesn't come without side effects.
That's correct. And I think now that we all know that GLP-1s are here to stay, and now there's amylin, that's another class coming. I think, some physicians already say we have solved the weight loss problem, right? So we can lose weight. You can go on a diet and lose weight.
Sure.
The problem is we can't keep it off, right? Mm-hmm. And when you basically regain body weight, what you regain is fat not muscle.
Right.
Exactly.
Dr. Martin Brenner is the CEO, Chief Scientific Officer, iBio Incorporated. iBio is the ticker symbol.
Mike may have asked this before, or Mary, when you were here last time. Is this taken in concert with the GLP-1 drug, or is it just a completely separate drug?
Ideally, it will be taken in combination with GLP-1, right? If you don't lose muscle or as much muscle on the way down when you lose weight, that's actually really beneficial. And that's what we're trying to do. Because, again, you can be very healthy from your cardiovascular system, but you might actually end up lying in a bed because you don't have any muscle left.
You have a whole new drug as well that is in development that's going to be first tested in humans early next year. Talk about what that does.
So that is something that specifically targets fat. So this is really supposed to keep all of your muscle there, but really reduce the fat. Again, we want to look healthy and muscular, not like we have been on a raft for 3 months and been starved.
No, exactly right.
And so that's specifically the fat around our inner organs. That's what makes us sick, and this is really targeting that specifically.
Is this something that is long time coming, or are these really novel discoveries that are happening? I mean, could this have been done 30 years ago had someone actually put two and two together and say, look at this blood pressure drug or this obstructive sleep apnea drug can also do this, or is this something that is this robust technology?
That's what makes us all a little humble in this business, right? There's a lot we don't understand.
Yeah,
and
right.
so even the GLP-1s, right? They have been discovered, more than a quarter century ago, and we're still learning basically what they do. So I think it's this particular mechanism we're working on, that new molecule, has only been discovered, that mechanism, about 3 years ago. So we're really, as fast as we could, we pushed this into clinical development.
Is the finish line here, and I know that folks think, oh my gosh, I'm going to look better, I'm going to feel better, but in the medical community, it's about heart disease and diabetes.
Correct.
Right? I mean, that's really the finish line here, correct? Is this, if not the cure for that, this is a pretty good way to wall it in so people can avoid it, right?
Yeah.
If they see it, or is that sort of the thought process that you go through? And
I think it's going to be game changing for cardiovascular disease, maybe down the road for neurodegeneration, right? So if you're kind of in a more healthy state in your body, less fat, this fat is always inflamed. There's inflammation ongoing. If you reduce this, there's so many things that influences this. So this could really be a game changer. But it's long-term research. We'll know in 20 years if something bad is going to happen or something good happens.
There's so much that you can share with us as a CEO of a public company and chief scientific officer. But if you're looking for milestones, this is because everybody who's going to see this interview is going to wonder, can I get some next week? Is there a compassionate use program? I got a wedding date coming up, and I got to fit my wedding dress. It's a compassionate use project. What's realistic in terms of what you're expecting here, coming up with FDA and everything else?
So I think first of all, the regulatory path is, at the moment, we have to achieve 5% weight loss within 1 year, right? That's the only approval path.
Okay.
That needs to change. The science is already 10, 15 years ahead of this.
Okay.
We need to really start thinking about what makes us sick, being, the internal fat. And so hopefully that's going to catch up really soon. Okay. The maintenance will be really important, right?
Yeah.
Again, keeping that weight off, that's kind of going to be the future. And then, there's so many overlaps between kidney disease. A lot of diabetics have kidney disease, right? And a lot of people that are obese have heart disease. So there's these branching out areas where, yes, GLP-1 will likely take care of a lot of this, but there will be a residual disease. There will still be people who are sick from that. Can we now use what we learned in obesity, apply this then to cardiovascular disease, to kidney disease as well?
Last question. I know you just started testing just a couple of weeks ago in human testing. Too soon to? Are you happy with it so far? Is it too soon to tell, or is it no news is good news at this point?
It's so obviously the first time in humans is all about safety, right? Our number one goal is that all of our patients are safe. So you actually dose one patient first, and then you give it 72 hours wait to see if there's any negative effects. Sure. So we went through the first cohort of 6 people. So that means the first patient is doing well, and like you said, no news at this point is good.
This is crazy exciting for you, though. I mean, if you consider, the boardroom in the beginning where he said, we think we can put these molecules together and we think that we can create something here. And now to see this happen, that's got to be extremely satisfying for you.
This is one of the key moments for every drug discoverer that can happen, to have your molecule from a paper exercise to a laboratory molecule and then finally actually being dosed to a human.
It's so great to have you back home where you belong. Love it.
Well, I'm glad that he wasn't, now that I know what he's doing.
Exactly. Yeah, you haven't just been sitting on a beach. Martin Brenner, CEO, Chief Scientific Officer, iBio Incorporated, iBio. That is the ticker symbol.
Will you come back when you have time, sir?
Please.
Of course I will.
We'd like to send a camera crew over there and follow you around. I think that'd be great.
All right, keep it here. Much more to come with the Big Biz Show. Don't go anywhere.